meeting. Regular board meeting number 42, Thursday, November the 5th, 2020, 10 a.m. Everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wow. Got a little mixed up there. Sheriff, it's good to see you.
You too, Commissioner. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you too.
I think before we start, I'd like to say a few words.
Oh, ready? Can I drink some coffee?
Sure. You know what, I think, before we get into the official part of the meeting, I want to congratulate my colleagues, David Ditzler and Anthony Traficani, and a phenomenal win. The people of Mahoning County have spoken. They know the teamwork that's going on here for them in Mahoning County. They see that with every department, every elected official, regardless of who they are. So that continued service for our people is what Mahoning County wants to see, and we're doing that. And so I'm proud of our voters, and I'm also proud of my two team members. And Election Day, as usual for me, was fun. I like to run around and talk to everybody. But congrats. God bless you both. God bless you, Jerry. And everybody else that won the election.
And our two county levies.
Our levies, mental health, MCDD, senior levy, as well as the Youngstown City Schools. I'm happy to see that the people did speak, and with God's will, we'll get that straightened out too. So that's what I wanted to say when we started, and I think that's worth saying. It's very important that the people know that we're here for them, and that if our phones are here, our phones are always here. They can call us at any time, and we'll serve. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I'm done.
It only works if everyone's on the same page.
Right.
And it's a good thing. It's definitely something that everyone's moving in the right direction to make sure we're doing the best we can for the people, especially during this time period with the COVID going back up. What was it, 100,000 people in one day? Was the largest number ever since it started.
Yeah, 5,000, what was it, 7,500?
So,
Just in this area. I mean, Ohio, 55 more deaths. I mean, this is not a joke. So please, that's the end of my speech, is going to be the mask, when I talk about wearing a mask. But I'll wait till the end for that.
We're going to do the presentation first.
okay. Cares. Okay.
Commissioners, it's nice to be here. It's been a while.
Yes, it
When you're
is.
back here,
Come
but
on, it was just a presentation for Audrey.
that's right. Well, I was out there, but so we're back again, and this time I'm pleased to say I'm here representing the Ohio Association of Behavioral Health Association. That's a group of every county board, similar to Mahoning County Mental Health Recovery Board. Every board in the state is represented in our state association. Every year we give out awards. They select some leaders in the entire state to give awards to. And this year I'm pleased to say that Sheriff Green is one of the winners for a statewide award. The Mahoning County Mental Health Board, as I said, is a member of the association, and I think our state association director said it best. As a result of actions like Sheriff Green, he has saved lives, families have been helped, and the community has benefited from his commitment. some of the things that the sheriff has done, and I have to say that the Mahoning County Mental Health Recovery Board and Mahoning County Sheriff's Department has one of the best relationships in the entire state between behavioral health and the Sheriff's Department. Every one of his members have received mental health first aid, every one of the deputies. We've also started the quick response team, which if somebody has a non-fatal drug overdose at Mercy, the Sheriff's Department works with us to get these people into treatment. He also did some public service spots for us on prevention of suicide with men. And actually the calls have increased at the Help Network after the commercials. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted men to know it was okay to ask for help. So with the sheriff leading off the public service spot, he did a nice job. So, you know, we want to recognize the sheriff and thank him. Also, and I always tell the story, I was down in Columbus about 3 years ago, and we were told that there was something called Stepping Up, and I didn't even know what it was. Before I got back to Mahoning County, the Mahoning County Commissioners passed the Stepping Up initiative, which meant that the mental health board will work with the sheriff, talk to the sheriff, jumped on board right away, and we're working together to reduce the recidivism rate in the jails. That helps everybody, because if people are released without help, they either reoffend or they victimize somebody else. So it's a great team. So, and Audrey, I didn't pick out the award, the state did, so it's a little bigger than yours. I'll take care of you next. I'll take care of you next year.
Oh, is that nice?
So on behalf of the Ohio Association of Behavioral Health authorities, I want to present Judge.
Dwayne, can you come up close and
No, I want to present Judge. I'll make you judge. Sheriff Green.
I got a little schooling to go.
Yeah, maybe not. Sheriff Green with this award. It's the 2020 CARES Award. So thank you very much.
Speech, huh? Yeah, that's awesome.
That's beautiful.
That is
This is going to sound corny, but I've been in this line of work for about 30 years now, and I've really evolved. And the whole thing really started with Judge Dirk and the drug courts 20-some years ago, where I used to make fun of them. What are you doing with these people? They deserve to be in jail. What's wrong with you? And somewhere over the course, 20-some years ago, I bought into the whole concept that we can't arrest our way out of this problem. We have to treat these individuals. Drug dealers, all of that, they deserve to go to prison. They deserve to go to jail. The people that are addicted, they need to be fixed. And one of the biggest focuses is, especially when we get them within our facility, is to try and do something with them and try and help them when we have them there. It's not that I don't like customers at our bed and breakfast that we have. It's what keeps us working. But truly to be able to change their lives, especially with the mental health. The Stepping Up program has been huge with us, with Dwayne Piccirilli and his team. It's just been awesome. We're able to get people, our officers now are trained to identify individuals that are coming to our jail that have mental health problems, to reconnect them with family, to get them on their meds. When they get released, we give them their meds. And how often do we see mental illness crosses in with addiction as well? I said this from the very beginning. I truly believe that probably 95% of the people that are in our facility are either suffering from addiction or mental health or both. So I'm proud that what I've done during my 8 years here. We were the first in Mahoning County to give Narcan to our officers and to go on the road training all the other local law enforcement agencies in Mahoning County with that. Our QRT team is awesome. The treatment within our facility, I can go on and on. All of our officers are crisis intervention trained. And you know, if we can just save or cut down on the amount of recidivism. I know there's cynicists, you know, people that are cynical out there, why are you doing this way? To reduce recidivism, help get people's lives back together, and reduce crime. And that's what we're doing. So Justice Stratton, I'm actually honored that she's here. I recall having a meeting with her years ago, and I was pot committed with what she said, and I'm smart enough to admit that when I'm wrong at the beginning of my career, I didn't buy into it, but I certainly do now. And and we're not going to stop. It's just we're going to keep working with the Board of Mental Health, and I've said this quite a bit, that we probably are the biggest mental health hospital in Mahoning County. It's unfortunate, but it's how we're doing things now, and we're here just to help people and families. So thank you very much. I'm so honored for this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner, Justice Stratton wants to say a few words.
Okay. Hello, Justice. Hello, where are you at?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wow, is that a photo behind you, or?
Where are you at?
Well, this picture shows up every time I use the system, and I can't figure out how to get rid of it.
But Justice, I want to come there too.
That's beautiful.
So anyhow, I wanted to just add my personal congratulations to the sheriff. He was actually one of the very first sheriffs to step up, so to speak, and get involved in this program and become a leader. And we made 2 visits, and we're really actually looking at the third, because we're doing some pretty major visits with Zoom now, with a much bigger team than we had the first time we came. But you have just been leaders in collaboration and cooperation. That's really what is making Stepping Up work, is that the commissioners are involved, the providers are involved, the behavioral health board, but it has to start with sheriff leadership, because it's a jail-focused program to try to change that paradigm from being the largest mental health facility in the country, or in the county. And so we're just enormously proud of his leadership, of your leadership, what you have done, opening the doors, changing your mindset, starting all of these different programs and collaborating with your community to make this a reality. I also bring personal greetings from Director Lori Chris. They were one of the distributors of the CARES Act funding, and I just was on the phone with her a few minutes ago, and she wanted to send her personal congratulations to you and to Mahoning County for all the work that you are doing together. So thank you for allowing me to say a few words of congratulations. I'm so proud of your county and what you're doing, and we look forward to further partnership.
Thank you, Justice.
Thank you, John.
Okay, can I say something? Yes, I'm good. Jerry, you know what? I commend you on this, because as I've said for I don't know how many years, mental illness is like a cancer of the mind. Whether you're addicted to drugs, alcohol, schizophrenic, bipolar, whatever it is. And what you just did in the last 3 to 4 months with putting a mental illness pod, or so to speak, department in your jail to help these help the people that you
Well,
serve.
it's been years, not months. We've been.
Well, but what I know you have, but you have your own now, which I think is going to be a better service to the clients that you serve.
Oh, I know what you're talking, okay, yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, we've recognized with COVID that our inmates are going to be under a lot more stress because they're more isolated from other inmates. The visitation is limited and all of that. And that immediately became a concern for us when it came to the mental health of the inmates and all of that. So that was a concern, so I stand corrected. That's what you're talking about.
And so I feel that the rehabilitation of some of the people, you can't get them all, but to help some of the people that you service there. And when you see them on the streets, and then you see them, even if they get incarcerated and they come out, there's 2 different people you see. And I mean, I've seen it through other programs that Dwayne is involved in, like Flying High and other places. There are good people that just need direction, and I can honestly say, you and your guys have given them that direction. So,
Thank you.
God bless you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And, you know, Commissioner, with that, I just want to say that I think the partnership, as I tell, we do police training about 4 times a year, and I tell the officers, we're social workers, we're counselors. When we call a cop or we call a deputy, we need their services. But it's great that they understand how some of our clients react a little differently, and that's what's a great teamwork. I just think I can't say enough of the relationship between the mental health board and the sheriff's office. And like I said, I was in Columbus. This has to be one of the first counties that said you guys voted to make us a stepping up community, which means we have to work together. The next call was the sheriff. He said, absolutely, how do I do it? I mean, and that isn't really something that happens a lot throughout the state. So again, thank you, Bree, for
And
really
that's
stepping
part
up.
of the team. That's what you call a team effort. It's never gonna work if everybody isn't on the same page. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd just like to say, Jerry, congratulations. You were my hero. You and your department have stepped up so big, not only in just the management of the jail, which we commend you, but what you have done to deal with this issue, with people being addicts, that you have to arrest, unfortunately, bring them in jail, and then you have to deal with them. So my background is in counseling. It's very similar to the credentials that Dwayne has. I have a soft heart for people who have addictions. I've had friends who've been addicted. I've had family members who had addictions, and it's a serious problem. So giving somebody a second or third chance at life and to try to get them on the right path, you know, God sees that and God notices that, and so do I. And I just want to commend you for the fine job you and your staff have done in partnering with Dwayne and the Mental Health Board to accomplish these things. Congratulations, Jerry. All the best.
Sheriff, no, I'm going to be serious. You know, there's so many programs that you brought into the jail, you know, that we've sat and looked at, and all of us collectively have been looking at things that save money to the bottom line. You know, and that's always been the focus, or has been the primary focus. But at the end of the day, everything that we see you doing is predicated on trying to make sure that people aren't coming back into the jail. And, you know, and listening to you speak to justice, and also that, you know, how your first outlook was, and I think a lot of our first outlooks are that way. You know, when we see it, we get hardened to the whole environment and to the whole situation, and probably nobody more so than a police officer that has to deal with it every day. But you know, you've really taken it 180 degrees in the jail and done an amazing job. You and I know that you always say that you can't do it alone, that it's all of you. And I know that, but you have pushed that message down to all your people, that it's been embraced and we're moving in the right direction. And you know, not only because of everybody working together, but because you're driving the message. And you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's who they're listening to. They trust you, they believe in you, and quite honestly, you know, you're our rock star. You know, you've done an amazing job for the county in a lot of different ways, and this is an amazing job that's helping a lot of people to be able to help their lives and move forward. So thank you, seriously, man.
Thank you. Everything we've done is because in Mahoning County, and I say this, I watch other sheriffs that fight with their commissioners, fight with their prosecutors, have one or two commissioners they don't get along with, and they're all interfighting, and what ends up happening is nothing gets done. No initiatives get done, nothing beneficial, nothing new, same old, same old. My experience in the past 8 years, it's been a complete team effort by the commissioners. We try to run everything by you, give you the heads up, ask you what you think, and my office has had nothing but complete support, so I commend you from that. This program, we were just a horse. The Mental Health Board and Recovery Board brought us to the water. We bought in. Many of these programs we didn't invent. We bought into it, and we were pot committed for really all of it. And it really has become, like I said before, an evolution of how you just change the way you're thinking, and it makes sense. And when people are cynical about one chance or getting two chances, it's not just that individual that passes away. They're linked to family members, friends, and everything, and their lives are always forever changed because of that too. So this is really good stuff. I thank you for giving me the credit for it and the things that you've said, but it's been everybody. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I get a picture with
Yeah.
Kid Rock? The state wants to
Here, take your,
We gotta stand for you.
So nice.
with all of us?
Well, Gary, that first event.
Very good.
Move over a little bit, Dwayne.
Very good.
Dwayne,
Okay.
okay, there you go.
All right.
Let me get one with you. Mark, you get one with you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dwayne, say that.
Okay. The color.
On the other side of Dwayne.
On the other side of Dwayne.
Okay.
I'll go.
Whoever want me to move.
All right, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Did we all get in?
Yep, everybody's in there.
Mark.
Thanks, Jenny. Good deal.
I was gonna say that. but I
It's been
didn't.
mentioned.
Don't break it.
So, Chris.
Where's this one from?
No, oh, on the table.
Thank you, Carol.
I do many jobs here.
Okay.
Coffee, clean up.
Dwayne, thank you so much, you know, for
Yes.
the job that you and Mark and your staff have done, and, you know, just amazing work, and, you know, since the boards merged, how many years has it been?
I think it's been almost 5.
Wow.
And you know what, look at
It's
all
hard
the
to believe.
I mean,
5
there's
years.
been so much progress in that 5 years.
Yeah. And you
And
guys
how
have just
about
done.
the teamwork? There.
Mhm.
I know people get sick of me saying it, but it's true.
You guys have done a great job of just uniting the county to understand, you know, what it takes and what it's all about. And, you know, I'm just, you know, really thankful that we have you and your group and the staff and the people and everybody buying in and moving in that direction. So,
And I'd like to say just one thing too. I've had a few crisis situations and I've called Dwayne and bang, right on it. Somebody's in trouble. And I want to thank you for that. Because that could be life or death.
yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, if anybody's gonna stick around or leave. Okay, we'll move on to the regular business portion of the meeting, so you guys gotta get back and get something done that's,
We don't have,
you don't have to stick around. We appreciate you being here.
It's up to you, Dwayne.
What? Okay,
I have to step
All right.
you have to stand guard.
Thank you, Dwayne.
We'll come
Thank
back
you,
and get that
Mark,
stuff.
Dwayne.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, Mark. Take it easy.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 41, Thursday, October 29th, 2020, and approval of bills for payment. Motion.
So moved?
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes, journal entries.
Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Agreements. I know I saw Tara up there. Agreements, convention and visitors. Yeah.
Sarah. Audrey.
This is advertising to support the Youngstown Phantoms, December through April of next year for their season. We will have our message on one of the dasher boards surrounding the ice rink. We will pay on a month-by-month basis, and should their season be canceled due to COVID, we will not be obligated for monthly payment, and this is non-general fund.
Okay, great. Thanks, Tara. County courts. Anyone on board for county courts?
Yeah.
Is Bob? Oh, there you go, Bob.
no, he's not on time.
He's not, yeah, he's not doing it, is he?
Jim is, Jim's
Oh,
got it.
I was gonna say, I thought you said-
This is to move County Court 4 to the new area. 3 quotations were obtained. This was the lowest best, and this is non-general fund.
All right, thank you. Jobs and family.
Jobs and Family Service. Good morning,
Good morning, Audrey.
Commissioners.
Morning.
Good morning. Congratulations to Commissioner Trafficante, Commissioner Ditzler on your big win. And Carol and Audrey and Nancy and Jim. Good morning. For Dalton Family Services, this is
Got it all
a
covered,
sub-agreement with the Addison House. And this agreement is to provide housing services to low-income families. It is from non-general fund, $120,000. Next one, D, sub-agreement with the YMCA that was mentioned last week on the board of Youngstown for Tanner Virtual Learning Support Program in the amount of $400,000 from the non-general fund. Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you, Audrey.
Lead-based.
Good morning, congratulations commissioners as well.
Bill?
P is an agreement with W&W Construction for lead acid control work at 144 Creek in the amount of $17,550. F is a lead acid control agreement as well with American Pinnacle Construction in Chopper Lane for $9,275. And G is a annual maintenance agreement for our spec writing and intake software with travel systems in the amount of $1,950.
Okay, Phil, thank you. Motion to approve agreements.
Motion to approve agreements A through G.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Traficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Change orders.
Motion to approve change orders 3A.
Oops.
We got
Bob is
Is Pat there, or Bob?
Bob is there.
Yeah. Change
Morning,
orders.
Commissioner.
Engineers.
Change order number 3. Number 8, change order number 1 is the final change order for Schiff Brothers on the guardrail project for Washingtonville Road. The change order is an amount of $4,703.75. These were field adjustments to fit this current situation out in the field. This brought the project total to slightly under $94,000, which was 100% funded by ODOT federal grant.
Okay. Thanks, Bob. And motion to approve change orders.
Motion to approve change orders 3A.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Traficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Road closings.
This is for closing Mock Road between State Route 534 and Weaver Road between November 9th and the 13th. This is in preparation for paving this section of road next year.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Motion to approve road closings.
Motion to approve road closings 4A.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Traficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Resolutions. Holy
Motion.
Moses.
Oh, my
I
God,
know.
Nancy.
A lot of signatures today.
Jesus.
Motion to approve resolutions number 1 additions.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Traficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay. Resolutions. Commissioners, OMB.
Commissioners, this is the resolution to amend Resolution 2008-019 to provide additional funds to Mahoney County Farm Bureau in the amount of $8,205.73 for advertising, promotional, and other services they were doing and related to the CARES Act funding.
Okay, thank you, Audrey. Now we go to Bob. Comment, please. OMB grants. Is that,
Bob is on it. Bob, your mic, unmute your, is your computer muted?
He's over there. I
Bob,
see
can you
him.
hear me? Now it's muted. Bob,
Unmute your, the program, but also unmute the computer. If not, he was hearing him earlier, so,
I see him.
Can he hear us?
yeah.
I don't think so.
Bob?
He's going in the dark.
Bob?
Okay. Well, we can have Nancy, Anna do it. Anna?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Do B. Thank you.
Well, I didn't hear you.
Do resolution item B.
For the comment, please.
Oh, for, the grant funding for CJS?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I thought Robert Brewer was on the call.
He is, but his speaker, his voice isn't working, his microphone.
was it?
2B.
Oh, B.
Yes.
Is it, additional funding to support the common pleas court in the amount of $35,963.76, through the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services for the court?
Okay.
It's
could've
already
done that.
before, I apologize.
That's okay.
All right, data, sheriff?
Is that under our radios?
Yes.
Could you read that? I didn't bring one with, read it real quick.
Yeah, it's a resolution of necessity to purchase APX series radios from Motorola for General Services Administration, cooperative purchasing,
Right, this was.
schedule for
this-
50,000 threshold.
Yeah, this was to purchase additional radios for our officers that are working the jail. We anticipated to be paid for by federal funds, CARES Act money. And obviously, it's a COVID issue. We don't have enough radios for every one of our officers to have one. To use themselves, they have to be turned back in, and then the next shift, another deputy comes in. It really just sanitary reasons and all of that makes perfect sense to have those additional radios, especially if there's going to be funding there to cover them, so it won't be cross-contamination.
Cool. And this is the state term agreement. The actual amount that we would be spending is about $357,000 for radios.
Okay,
I wasn't
thank
going to
you,
mention
Sheriff.
that part, no.
Okay, engineers. Bob, can you hear us?
Yes, Commissioner, letter D is a resolution for us to participate in the Ohio Department of Transportation's cooperative purchasing program. They put a number of items out every year on state purchase bid that we can go to directly. We have to redo this resolution every 2 years for us to be able to participate.
Okay.
Letter E is a resolution approving a moral obligation payment in the amount of $21,569.41 for the Ohio Edison Company. Matthews and Sheridan Road Roundabout was built several years ago. It had decorative lighting. Since that project was opened, that decorative lighting has been hit and knocked over by vehicles on numerous occasions. So what we asked Ohio Edison to do was to remove the decorative lighting and put overhead cobra lighting within the circle. So they just completed that project about 2 weeks ago for us.
Okay. Thanks, Bob. Facilities purchasing.
Commissioners, this is our continuous effort to disinfect and sanitize the Old Kill Renaissance Building.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
Sure.
Human resources.
What's item G?
Oh,
Item G, we had a situation where on the second and third floor bathrooms at Oak Hill Renaissance, they're old cast iron. They started to break, and we didn't want water penetrating into the Board of Elections. There was asbestos to have to deal with, so this was an emergency situation to prevent a major issue.
okay, great. Thanks, Jim. Human resources. Karen, are you up there?
No. Commissioners, this is a resolution authorizing the Ohio Deferred Compensation Plan to include the Roth IRA option pursuant to Ohio Revised Code. Item I is a resolution to accept the memorandum of understanding with ASME, Ohio Council 8, local number 2001 for the health care insurance for 2021, which will be participating in the Commissioner's plan.
Okay, thank you. Lead-based.
Both J and K are change orders that were in excess of 10% of the original contract. J was a situation where the entire roof needed to be resheathed. That was unforeseen with the shingles on. And item K, they had a bad soil stack that had to be replaced from basement to roof, and a few other unforeseen items that were inside the wall. That's it for me.
Okay. Thank you, Phil. Motion to approve resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions A through K.
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Traficant? Commissioner Driscoll?
Yes. Okay. Now we're gonna make Dwayne do the presentation over again, because it's on our agenda. Oh, he left. All right, now we will open it up if there's any comments or from the elected officials or department heads. We will ask you to jump in there, and we're gonna unmute everybody, so everybody mute your own computer unless you're speaking. Anyone have any comments or anything they'd like to say? We never have any, so we either have the system all screwed up and nobody can hear us or talk to us.
It's working, we can talk to all of these.
Yeah, sure we have, Audrey, sure we have, I know.
They don't have
I know.
anything to say,
It's
which
no.
means that's a good thing, right?
So, everybody's still hung over, I think.
They all must have said that I had to rush, so we're good. We're good.
Okay, if there's anyone that's on, that would like to say something,
You would have to unmute everybody. Okay.
we ask you to go ahead. And anyone has anything to say, any questions, comments that's on system?
Nope, good deal.
Okay, then we'll go inside here. Sheriff, anything you'd like to add or say or like to talk about?
I got nothing.
No?
No.
Why, you two are the biggest, why don't you do arm wrestle or something? The size of you two guys. Glad we got big guys protecting us.
Let's move on.
All right, anyone else? No? No? Or, Lou?
Good. Well, good.
Then we'll move to
You got
Carol.
11 o'clock.
All right. Carol?
See, I knew we'd move to Carol. Well,
Ladies first?
at the beginning of the meeting, I didn't want to address this. I figured I'd wait till the end. All I'm gonna say is for everyone in this room, everyone that's on our Zoom, as well as all of those people that look at the website, please wear your mask. COVID is up in the state of Ohio as well as Mahoning County. This is not over. We are at the peak. And instead of going down, we're moving up in the numbers. The hospital visits are many. The hospitalizations are many. We need to be aware of our surroundings. You need to wear a mask. You need to stay at least 6 feet away from everyone. I mean, I'm going to say this until the day this is over. This has become a part of our outfit. It's become a part of our suits for men and our outfits for women. So mask up and stay focused. If you don't need to go into large gatherings, do not do that, because that's where this all begins. You know, we only have a couple more months, maybe 3 or 4 months of this. Let's ride it out. Let's stay safe, and most of all, let's stay alive. Because this is not a joke. If you get it and it's severe, you have underlying conditions, it's like a death wish. So please, just stay safe, stay masked, do only the necessities when you go out. Stay with your inner circle, your family. I mean, and sometimes things go in a different way, and you reconnect with your family through crisis. And maybe that's not a bad thing, is to reconnect with your wife, your spouse, your significant other, whatever it is, your children. So just please be safe, do what's right, use your good judgment, and have a great weekend. God bless you. Enjoy the beautiful weather. Thank you again, guys. Congrats again. I'm happy for you both. So you have 4 more years to hear me.
Thank you. Anthony?
Yeah, I'd like to agree with Carol Rigetti and her comments. I want to congratulate Sheriff Green, not only the great job of being sheriff, but also getting reelected. Voters knew what they were doing there. And I'd like to congratulate all the candidates who ran, who won, who didn't win. You know, whenever you put yourselves out there, you got to understand, what you're putting yourself up against. And I want to congratulate my colleague Dave Ditzler. Dave fought very, very hard. He worked super, super hard. He was just everywhere. And a well-deserved victory, Dave Ditzler.
Thank you.
For everything. He's a fine commissioner. He's a fine gentleman. He's a fine man from a good family. I've been privileged to serve with Dave all of these years and looking for another 4 years with Dave and Carol. So I want to commend you on your big win, Dave.
Thank you.
And on a personal note, I would just like to say that, when you've been at it as long as I have, this will be my 5th term. I cannot say about the overwhelmingly support that I have received in my elections, term after term after term. It's not common for somebody to stay here as long as I have, where your vote totals seem to go up. And I'm very proud of that. I want to thank the voters of this community for believing in me and entrusting me to do the job. I have a great team here that we work with. It's a team effort. But on a personal note, I would just like to say that, coming from my heart, I want to thank Ashley Fox for putting my picture of me and my mom in here. I wish she would have cut me out and just left my mother. I don't look too good in that picture, but I do want to thank her for taking that picture of my mom, who was very proud of me. And with respect to the outgoing support, I had over 230 text messages and over 60 phone calls of congratulations from people from all counties, believe it or not. So very proud of that. And then yesterday, I took my mom and sister out to dinner at the Springfield Grill, and I haven't been there in a long time. And it was amazing. The staff all came out to congratulate me. I didn't know any of those folks that were there. And it really touched my heart. It touched my mom, touched my family. And this very nice young lady, very young, wrote this on the receipt, and I don't even know her. And she said, I want to personally congratulate you. So, when you get salutations like that and people come up to you in the phone calls, it really just gives me that extra energy to even move harder. So I just want to thank Mahoning County for entrusting me and believing in me all these years and put me back for another 4 years. Look forward to serving with this great team. Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to first touch on what Carol talked about on the COVID with the county and with the state, and the situation we're dealing with. I still speak on behalf of the board every other week on Mondays with Governor DeWine and the 7 top metro counties in the state of Ohio, and they have established a new approach. It's called the defense team, and they've started it all back up again. There's going to be about, I want to say, 10 members on the defense team. And Ryan Tekak, he had given me the names he was putting on it, and it's going to include people like, I want to say, I think it's Ed Reese, Sam Cavelli, different people from the counties that are business people, that are church leaders, that are community leaders, community activists, and they're going to establish a defense team that is going to take and try to make sure that message is conveyed. We're actually going to start up a program, a public relations program, and we had to wait till the election was over. And I will say that a young lady from Boardman, whose husband is a nurse, has been one of the biggest advocates for wearing masks and making sure that we're doing the right things. And she actually is the one that came up with a slogan to mask up Mahoning. And we're going to start a program called Mask Up Mahoning to make sure that we're getting the word out and we're trying to help each other. Governor DeWine on this past Monday's call said that the tracers are identifying that the lion's share of all of these cases that are coming up are from family gatherings. They have nothing to do with work-related issues. They're generated with family gatherings because now The sporting events are back on TV, people are gathering, they're watching the sporting events, and all those rotten Pennsylvania people are infiltrating into our state of Ohio, and they're infecting us all because they're all celebrating their 7-0, right, Jer? Anthony?
Got that right.
Jerry, help me out here.
And you know the sad thing is I've watched my Browns lose for so long. I'm actually rooting for the Steelers today. I can't even believe it.
Put that in the record,
Oh,
right, Jerry?
no.
I want that in the
Because
record.
I really don't like the Dolphins having that 17-0. You know, I loved it when the New England Patriots got beat and it stopped them from beating the Dolphins. But I would embrace the Steelers beating the Dolphins.
Okay.
Thank God.
Only because so many of my friends are huge Steeler fans. But anyway, I really want to emphasize that, you know, that program is going to be starting up, and we're really going to focus on it to try and get the county safe. The numbers are going up, like Carol said. You know, we need to work on things to make sure we're all united in our effort to move forward. So
Are they gonna bring it to all of us here in the town, the 3 commissioners, or how's that gonna work?
We're gonna talk, you have a meeting after to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Didn't know
So that's going to be, you know, the focus, and we're going to try to make sure that we're doing the right thing on behalf of everyone in Mahoney County, because like Carol said, the numbers are going up. Even though the severity of the people in the hospitals is declining, but you know, the numbers are going up for cases in the hospital. So we need to make sure that we're moving in that direction. I wanted to also echo Anthony's sentiments. I want to congratulate everyone that won. Jerry, you know, first and foremost, I think that you know, you take the crown now off of Judge Kirchbaum. You know, so I'm sure that warmed the cockles of his heart, huh? Right?
I haven't got to him yet.
You haven't gotten to the judge yet? Well, you know, it's and like Anthony said, when you put yourself on the line out there, whether you win or lose, if your intent was to really to do good things or to embrace the position and not just to be an antagonist on a ballot to make someone else do things, you know, if your intentions were honorable and sincere, you know, I congratulate everyone. Whether you win or lose, everyone wins from it because you learn something along the way, and you're able to take that forward. Whether you're whether you're victorious or whether you're defeated, you know, everyone learns something, and it makes you a better elected official or it makes you a better person. You know, so hopefully we all move forward and do something. Nationally, who knows what's going to happen? All I know is that I watch our Board of Elections, and I see them doing the same things that are happening nationally. It's just that our numbers pale in comparison, you know, to the overwhelming task that is in, you know, enormous cities like Philadelphia and Atlanta, Georgia, and the things that are happening. And all of a sudden, we decide that it's a disruption and it's illegal and this is happening, that's happening. These things happen in every election. It's just that when the outcome isn't balanced on that particular state or city, you don't see the focus of it. You know, so, but this process and procedure is done every election. It's just that, you know, it doesn't have the implications that it does in this election. So, you know, please, you know, as we watched our own Board of Elections move through and do their due diligence and do an amazing job, bear with it. There are people working, you know, just like the rest of us, trying to get the outcome. Anyway, and Anthony, I really have to, you know, congratulate you. You've spent a long time in a position, and I know how difficult it is to be able to endure and to thrive and to continue to be an asset to the community, to the valley, and to everyone you serve. You've done an amazing job. I really compliment you on your not only your longevity, but your passion and your desire continues to help people. You know, and like we talk about, it's your background, your education. You know, you always want to help everyone, and sometimes you know, we all fall short in having the ability to do that, but your desire never wanes. So congratulations. I love the picture of you and your mom.
Thank you.
This is the first election that my mother hasn't been here. You know, my mother passed 2 years ago, and she was my biggest fan, and I was her biggest fan. And she never missed an election. When I was trustee in Austintown, my mother attended more consecutive meetings than I did. I mean, I didn't miss a meeting for 16 years in Austintown. And the first meeting I missed was when my wife's sister passed away. And it was on a meeting night, and obviously we were consumed. And my mother went to the meeting, you know, and she hadn't missed a meeting that I went to. And we used to tell her, Mom, if this is your social event of the week, you know, you really need to get a life, you know. But you know, my mother was just, you know, one of the most wonderful people I've ever known, you know, in spite of her being my mother. And she worked at People's Lanes Rite Aid Drug in Cornersburg for 50 years. And people used to say she was the mayor of Cornersburg. Ed Reese named her the mayor of Cornersburg. And so he used to come in when he was a little boy. And my mother always had a badge on that said, "Don't ask me, I'm only his mother." You know, and so it,
Boy, was she great.
yeah.
God, I need one of them.
And so, you know, it is heartwarming. And, you know, my father actually ran for trustee in Austintown twice and lost both times. And he passed the year before I got elected, 30 years ago. And so, anyway, it's all about, you know, family, because at the end of the day, when you're in any one of our positions in this room, and everyone knows that it's not only you, it's your whole family that's elected. You know, Barb's consumed, Hannah, Jenna, you know, they're all consumed on a daily basis, because, you know, you don't get to walk away from anything. You know, I mean, the phone calls never stop, the people never stop needing help, and when you're elected, you know, you're 24/7. So I thank everybody for their excellent job. I thank Carol for always being there for all of us. You know, Carol is always, I mean, I step back and I see her on the trail everywhere we're at, and, you know, when we're up for election, and Carol is just out there trying to pass the message on what a great job everyone's doing, you know, and you know, and her heart and her passion and her soul and everything that she's all about is into Mahoning County. You know, I mean, she has lived it, whether it's the elections, the Board of Election, the COVID, everything, you know, it's all personal, and she takes it personal, and her passion always comes out.
Thank you.
And we can't thank you enough for all your support and all your help.
I wouldn't miss it. I love helping good people get elected. And if it's not me that's running, I want to be there for people that I like, that are good. And you two have been great partners. I would not have, I mean, even though I'm scared to death with COVID, I couldn't let that back me down from election day and some of the events that were outside. I had to be there.
Well, one of the most
I followed Jenny. Jenny would call me every step of the way and tell me where she was, and she says, "You need to go to the polling, you need to go over to here, you need to go." So I followed everybody to see where everybody else was.
And one of the most important things is that, you know, the three of us don't agree on everything. We don't always get along. We discuss things, we work them out, we agree to disagree, where we convince someone else, you know, that you're right, I see your point of view, and I agree with you now, Anthony or Carol. And, you know, it always, when you're on a board of three, there's nothing more important than making sure that you're all on the same page and all discussing things collectively. Because if I call Anthony and talk to him on the phone about an issue, you know, and I don't include Carol, well, Carol may have perspective that we didn't think of. You know, everyone brings something to the table, and everyone has an important point of view on it, and we make sure that we're inclusive of everything, you know, and Audrey kicks our butt, and Nancy kicks our butt, and Jimmy keeps us on the straight and narrow, you know, and it all works out together. And I used to say in Austin Town, if you don't get along with the Board of Education, even though trustees and the Board of Education aren't on the same board, you look dysfunctional. You know, you gotta get along with all the elected officials, because the community sees just a group of elected officials that are dysfunctional. And when that happens, everybody goes down the drain, you know, whether it's elected people or the community. You know, you've got to cooperate, you've got to make sure you're in harmony. Even if you don't agree, you've got to make sure you're representing the community. And I think that showed up in Trumbull County more than anywhere.
Whoa.
You know, when you're battling each other, I mean, it brings the sour taste to the surface, and everybody opposes everybody. You know, and you know, you need to work together, whether you're in sync or not. You need to have harmony. You need to have cooperation, and you know, and I'm proud and honored that all of our electeds, and right now, it's the day after the election, or 2 days after the election, there are no D's and R's in Mahoning County. You know, there's, you know, I'm proud and happy that Judge Joe Schiavone is now judge-elect. You know, Al Catrona, you know, I'm happy that he got the position that he wanted, and I don't care if he's an R or he's a D or what he is. You know, Mike Woolley has been one of our closest allies, talking to him since the election. You know, so right now it's all, we all work for the residents of Mahoning County. And we don't look at Democrats and Republicans, and it should be that way nationally, it should be that way everywhere, and it used to be. You know, so I just want to thank everybody that went out and voted. There was a huge turnout, which is fantastic, because no matter who you support, it's important to make your voice heard. You know, the larger the numbers, just like the census Audrey pushed, you know, the larger the numbers, the more impact we have as a county, as a community. So, thank everybody. Green man, all good. Hey, you know what? All right, with that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's first?
Move to.